Fantasy football is beginning. We got your first rounds of mock drafts today. Stay tuned. 10-round, 12-man, full PPR mock draft incoming your way. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into Lock It In on the Raccoon Sports Hub. My name is Tanner Dawson. Joined with me, of course, is Alan Morales and Scott Cove. Guys, welcome in. Let's get some football going.
Christmas in July.
Christmas in July. That's right.
Christmas in July is very painful.
I heard you got some things going on, Alan. Yeah. It's never fun. Never fun.
Word of advice to everyone watching: take care of your health, please.
And don't get old either. Don't get old.
Don't get old.
It's harder than it seems.
Mm-hmm.
As I take a sip of my Monster, no big deal. No big deal. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it. No, we don't have 1,000 bets for you today. No, we're not sitting here laying it out on a Saturday slate of baseball and WNBA and tennis and golf. All right, we're gonna have something for you.
What time does Hawaii play again?
Time to Hawaii play. That's right. Hey, we're almost to that point. So, in case you guys aren't aware, it is July. Training camp starts next week, I believe. For some teams here, and we're getting there, and we have football at the end of the month. NFL football, guys, at the end of the month here. And then August comes, and all of a sudden, the world becomes right again in the betting world. We go college football, we got NFL towards the beginning of September. Things get good, okay? But we do have some fantasy football stuff, right? We're not just a betting show. We are also a fantasy football squad as well. We love our fantasy football. And we're excited to get into it. We're just going to do a little mock draft, a little bit of warm-up show, right, to get into it. We're going to do a little mock draft. Again, this is a 12-man, 10 rounds, no kicker, no defense. What I put on here, let's see here, the roster squad here that you're going to have. I went to streamer mode here. Rosters, 1 QB, 2 RBs, 2 receivers, a tight end, 2 flexes, wide receiver, running back, tight end flexes, and 2 bench spots. Again, no defense, no kickers. Okay, we're looking at value plays. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we get going here, I do want to make sure we drop in any bets that we do have for this weekend. And I'll begin. I got one today that I did place. It is the DeGrom Valdez game today. And I put that Houston in the first inning does not go over 3.5 batters. And that was plus 125. So I put some money on that. So, gentlemen, did you have any picks for the day before we begin this mock draft?
So I put a parlay in earlier this morning of the Red Sox have been insanely hot.
Yes.
Walk off.
So are the Rays.
Everything. Yeah. I put a parlay in of the Rays and Dodgers today. And that's like plus 135 or something like that, because the Dodgers got to win a game here eventually. They're on a 7-game move. They got too much talent, and the Red Sox have been just smoking hot. So eventually the Rays are going to get them. I think today could be the day. And the Dodgers are due for a win. How funny is it saying that the Dodgers are due for a win? But
what are they up to now? Is it 8? 8 losses in a row?
Yeah, it could be 8, 7 or 8, one or the other. They have not been playing great baseball, but they have the makeup of a team that should be able to beat the Giants here this weekend. It's their rival. They're pitching in a bad way right now. They're not healthy, but I think their offense can carry them today. So, and Rafael Devers for the Giants has been a failure. He's been awful. So
Yes. I agree. I agree on that by far. So, well, no, I'm down for it. I mean, you got to at some point, you get your mojo back, right? You would think. So, I don't blame that one. Alan, you got anything for us?
Now, I know you threw out the Astros thing earlier.
Yeah.
I'm going to go under on the run total because I think, even though Texas has been hitting the ball well and scoring a lot lately, they usually find themselves in one of those games where they only put up like 2-3 runs. I think this is going to be one of those games, although they've had Valdez's number in the past few meetings that they've had with them. But also, to your point earlier, Jacob deGrom has not allowed 2 or more runs in any start that he has pitched this year, which is a big reason. Which is a big reason why he is an all-star this year, because he's been very consistent. Again, only 2 runs given up in any game is the most he's given up in any game this year. And not that we're seeing New York Mets Jacob deGrom, but we're starting to see that version of Jacob deGrom come back this year, which has been fun to watch.
Okay. Yeah. No, I saw deGrom and I'm like, sure enough, he can get out of the first inning like he has been. So we'll go from there. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's some bets for you if you're looking to get to play in. But nonetheless, let's get into it here. It's time to get a mock in. Now, today it'll just be us 3. Come future episodes, we will get the audience involved. If you guys are wanting to get involved here, we'll drop a link here in the future here. But today, again, it's a warm up show. We're gonna mock in, and we're gonna go ahead and get at it. So just be kind of ready there, and we'll make sure to get everybody in at some point in the next couple weekends. So, guys, we ready? Are we ready?
yes.
Okay. We're ladies and gentlemen here. We'll begin in 3, 2, and 1. Start that draft. And up first, of course, Scott Cobe in the first spot. I'm in the 6th, and Alan in the 12th spot.
So just to give a little context on this, it's going to be Jamar Chase is going to be my pick. So there's really only 3 guys that can be the number 1 pick, I think, this year. Jamar Chase, Saquon Barkley, and Bijan Robinson. Those 3. I think anybody else.
JJ can be in that ranks.
JJ could be outside shot, but if it's Chase or Jefferson, for me it's Chase. And the other thing I'm going to say is that Saquon is probably an outside number 1 pick because of all the work he had last year.
Correct.
So he's gonna regress this year. He's not
Bijan, JJ, Barkley. There you go.
So
there you go. So we had that, and then we had Gibbs as well, right? Barkley and Gibbs. Oops. So let's see here. Read up here. I am using the Basement Brood Fantasy Football Draft Guide, Draft Dominator. It just got finished up yesterday afternoon. So this is the fresh look at it here. It's very cool because you put your pick in, your next pick, you can put your draft spot in. It gives you an idea of what to draft, what to steal, what to avoid at your current situation there. So I'm using that right now, walk.com/BBFF there. But yeah, so reading here, right? I got 3 choices here where I'm at. And Malik Neighbors, Puka Nacua, and CD Lamb. Now, we all know the Giants have Russell Wilson now, but will they start Russell Wilson? That's the question. But Malik Neighbors should still get a lot of playing time, but he plays. I mean, he got hurt with a lot of targets last year. Puka, And the Rams, I think we all know what's involving them, especially no Cooper Cup there, but they have Devontae and then CD with George Pickens now involved here. But can Dak stay healthy here? Let's see, for the first mock draft here for me, I think we're going to go ahead and we'll take some CD. We'll take some CD here. I think in the end, he's a mirror guy. All right, leading up here to 12 here. Puka did go right after that. Amon Rod, Derrick Henry, Malik Neighbors, and Nico. So, Alan, what are we thinking here?
This is an interesting dilemma. It really is.
Makes you think already, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to take gamble.
What'd you go? Oh, wow. Rookie in the first, and then AJ Brown right after.
I think the way that Pete Carroll's going to run that offense, Aston Genty's going to get a lot of touches. So
interesting. Okay.
I would agree with Alan's premise there. Is Genty is going to get a lot of touches. Pete Carroll's a guy that wants to run the ball a lot. So, I mean, he's got Geno Smith there, obviously, but I think Genty is the guy. You don't take him 6th overall to just have him sit. So they have no running game either after him.
I'll say this about the Raiders. They're probably not going to show it in the win column, but they're going to give a lot of teams fits this year. Just by the style of play that you have with Geno, you have Genty there now, Brock Bowers. With the style of play that the Raiders are going to have, they're going to cause a lot of teams fits this year.
Yep, I agree. I would agree with that.
All right, 18 here. It looks like for me here, looking at the draft board here, first quarterback, by the way, just went off the board there. We are going to go ahead and take the stab at it here. I mean, hopefully everything is going to be good here on this mock, but we're going to go C-Mac. We're going to go Christian McCaffrey. I think in the second round, at this point here in the middle of the draft, I don't think it's a bad pickup here to try to get. So for him, it was like our second quarterback is off the board as well. And that's Lamar on top of Josh. So
the suggested pick I had when I made my first pick was Brian Thomas, and the only reason I skipped on that is I don't know what Trevor Lawrence is going to be. Speaking of quarterbacks, so
I will give you a Brian Thomas stat after my 2 picks that might sway some people from going with him or against him.
Oh, really?
Yes, that I found out from Jim Coventry of RotoWire, who's a good friend of mine. So if people know me like they do, I'm a heavy wide receiver type of guy when it comes to these drafts early. And my guy is sitting there at the top of the board here, and that's Drake London, who is the alpha number 1 in Atlanta. He had 40 PPR points last year in week 18 when Mooney did not play. So that's going to be my pick, London. And then there's 2 tight ends that have already been taken. Kittle would be a thought for me here, but I'm not going with Kittle. I'm going to go with T. Higgins. And I'm going to get the Cincinnati passing game. So you kind of know if he doesn't get taken where one of my next picks is going to be. So
interesting to see Jaden Daniels as the 3rd quarterback taken.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, it's PPR. It makes sense.
Plus, the running quarterback is a big thing now in the NFL.
Yeah,
which is big.
I don't think it's outlandish by any means.
So I'll let Tanner pick, and then I'll give the Brian Thomas stuff.
Is he really sitting there? He is, man. I'll tell you what. I might be getting all the old dominating guys apparently, or something like that. But according to this draft guide here in the 5th tier, there's 2 guys that are still on the board here, and one of them I can possibly even wait on to come to play. So we're going to take the first guy here, and that is Tyreek Hill, ladies and gentlemen. Tyreek Hill.
So before Alan goes, the Brian Thomas stuff. Brian Thomas with Trevor Lawrence last year had an average of 7.5 targets and 13 fantasy points per game. Without Lawrence, he was up over 10 targets a game and 23 points per game in fantasy. So does that speak to Trevor Lawrence or does that speak to Brian Thomas? I think it speaks more to Trevor Lawrence than it does Brian Thomas.
Oh yeah, I believe that too.
So him as an early pick is a risk that I don't know if I'd be want to take in the back end of drafts. So just keep that in mind when you draft him.
Good enough. Jalen Hurts, Alan. I see that. And
this might be a controversial take, but I think Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the NFL.
That's fine.
I mean, you take Patrick Mahomes out of it, obviously. I think he's the most underrated and probably, if you want to look at it as of, how he runs the game, you could say, oh, he's a game manager, what have you, but he can make all the throws. He's a running quarterback too, so that gives you an added bonus. Obviously, they run the hardest play to stop in the NFL, the tush push, which gets him most of his touchdown scores. But the Eagles have a good team on paper without him, but Jalen Hurts is the guy that keeps all of those pieces from falling apart.
Yeah, but I mean, if I had the best running back in the league and one of the best receivers in the league and a great number 2 receiver, it could be classified as a starter. That'd probably be the best thing too. For that.
I just don't think he gets enough love. That's the thing.
No, he doesn't. He really doesn't. Actually,
He does not.
He needs a little love there. So I got some dilemmas here I can look at. I got some guys I could go out and reach out for that are right on the top. I know Scott's got it. Joe Burrow's right there. Dave's looking at. But yeah, I think we're gonna stick to our guide here and keep out of here. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna DK. We're gonna do a little DK action here. So DK Metcalf off the board.
I hate Team 4 already. Team 4
is a pain, right? Already.
Team 4 is terrible. But I have the Cincinnati passing game basically locked up. All right, so now I've gone three wide receivers. So now I'm looking at running backs, which is not great. But there is a guy there that had a great year, a top 12 year last year, and that's Chuba Hubbard. So I'm going to go with Chuba Hubbard. I think he's got the backfield on lock, and he got paid last year. So he's going to be and the rookie out of Texas back on the injury list with ACL. So he's going to be out. And my next pick is going to be Sam Laporta. He's sitting there. He should bounce back and be a top 5 tight end. And that's what you need at that position. Sam Laporta is my next pick. And now I'm going to wait on quarterback because Team 4 took my guy. So.
Yeah. Might as well wait on quarterback. There's some guys that'll drop down a little bit, Got a little Zay action. There. Team 3, Jamison already.
Dave, if you actually listen to Scott's advice, you might win some games. Just saying.
Wow. Interesting. Xavier Worthy being as high as he is he the first Chiefs receiver off the board? I think he is.
Did Rashid go yet?
No, I don't think Rashid Rice is still there. That's insane. All right, let's take a look here. Make sure. So we're sitting here already with 3 receivers, right? So we know we got
no
receivers.
Rice got taken. Rice got taken by Team 9.
Team 9, yeah.
Oh, is that where it was? Okay, never mind. I didn't notice it. So that makes sense. Okay. I'm sitting here. See, we got 2 receivers, 2 flexes, and 2 bench spots, right? So I already got 3 receivers, 1 running back. So let's see here. We update here. We're looking at 53 now. We got Steele. We got Steele in mind, ladies and gentlemen, on the draft guide. Steele has popped up here. Let's see where he's sitting at currently. Oh yeah, he'll be gone. Mikey loves this guy. And I love the fact that where he is right now is his opportunity will be great. Steele. This rookie is going to be. I think he's going to lights out as well. So I love that. Love that pick. Joey Mix, TJ Hawk, back in the saddle there.
I hate Team 11. I was going to take Taker Montgomery. Well, he is my new wide receiver, so go George Pickens.
Yeah, you better get Pickens. He's your new love.
It does get tough here. This is where it starts to get really
It's a tough go. And again, I don't want to promote other shows here, but the most recent Basement Brew Fantasy Football episode that might be just posted, which posted on Thursday, does indicate he goes through after a data of 300 drafts, rounds 5 through 10. Or 5 through 8, sorry. 5 through 8, 5 through 10, I can't remember which one. But this part of the draft, he goes through and the importance of it. So, something if you guys really want to dig into, you might go check it out. Sorry, give me a minute. I'm catching up here.
I kind of like that Genty James Conner running back tandem.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think you got a couple guys that'll, be both sides of what you need. So for receiving and running back. Jukins already.
If Genty pans out like I think he's going to in Las Vegas, I think if you get Genty and then Kamara, Connor, any of those guys, I think you're going to be well on your way to winning the league. So
Mahomes going in round 6. Interesting. Let's say Pacheco, more interesting, going right after that.
Is it because people think Pat's fallen off a little bit, or do they not have faith in the fact that he could, he might have a bounce back year this year?
I think people are starting to take Mahomes for granted because Kelsey last year wasn't as big a factor. So
yeah,
they think
it's the Kelsey factor that everybody's scared of.
Yeah, and I think Kelsey is coming into camp in great shape this year. So I think Kelsey could have a huge bounce back year this year.
Yeah, that's a Chiefs fan, not overly concerned there with
no, not at all.
Obviously.
Not at all.
All right, we got a couple seals here on the board here, but let's see where they're at. They have 20 seconds. We're fine. Good. Ooh, which one do I want to go with? Well, we're going to take a stab. We already got one guy there, so we're going to go ahead and pop up and we're going to pop a little Ridley action in this one. See what Mayo Man can do. I keep making fun of Sam saying that Mayo needs to start. So we're going to say Mayo. Let's get through the ball.
So I was looking at Mayfield in this round, on this back-to-back picks, but he just got taken by Team 5. So I hate Team 5 too. So now I'm looking at the flex position again. And usually my flex is a wide receivers. And right now, Godwin is not a thought for me because I don't know how he's going to come back from the injury. That could take a while. There is one guy in there that's interesting to me, and that's Cooper Kupp. And he's going to line up in the slot. Seattle's offensive line is not great. So Sam Donald is either going to be on the run or getting the ball out early. And if has to get the ball out early, Cooper Kupp for me, the short guy. So I'm going to take him in my flex, and I'm going to finally break the seal on the quarterback. And I'm going to go with Kyler Murray. Again, another running quarterback. I think he's in for a big year this year. I think Arizona could make the playoffs, be the last wild card team in that division. So I'm going to trust that Kyler can have a really good year.
I don't. completely hate it, actually. I probably would have waited a little longer for Kyler, but I don't hate it.
Well, after the Baker and Burrow picks, I'm afraid he could go at any time. So
That's the difficult part of having a wheel pick is that you want to hold out thinking that your guy's going to be there, but you're if you know he's not going to, you just take a stab on him anyway. That's kind of why I took AJ Brown too, because he was kind of predicted to go a little later, but I've had AJ Brown in 5 teams the last 2 years, and he's probably been the most productive player I've had on any of my teams. So I stick with what I know, you know.
Plus for everybody out there, mocks are just to try things, try different things. If you're gonna mock from each draft slot every time you do it, and just see what you get, and just try different things. Like mine was the first 3 picks were wide receivers. And that's basically my draft in a nutshell is I go that way. But, you could try 2 running backs at the top and see what the wide receivers are in the middle of the 3rd and 4th round. You try that. So,
all right, I got 5 wideouts, guys. I got 1 running back here. We are in round 7 here. I think I'm pretty set, right? I got all the flex spots covered. I got a bench spot for receiver here just in case there's injuries. So I think we're good. So let's go to some D Swift action. Let's go with some D Swift. Ooh, there's the straight spot. Well, it's
Interesting selection here.
Addison finally off the board. It's been top of the queue or top of the list here for quite a while. It finally gets off.
And George Kittle and Mark Andrews. I'll take that.
Yeah, you go double time. Chris Godwin. That's a guy, guys, that I'm pretty cautious about this year. Especially since I got Emeka drafted there. I don't necessarily think Godwin's our guy.
yeah, plus Tampa kind of told you what they're thinking of Godwin with their 1st round draft pick.
Yep.
And Booker. So,
holy cow. Warren.
Tanner, Allen's kicker, even though we're not drafting kickers, he played like a wide receiver 3 last year.
Oh, no, there could be some crazy picks there,
I've done probably 10 drafts so far, and he's gone 12th round.
Really?
20 round drafts. Yeah, everybody's on him.
He's like automatic from 50 plus almost.
Yeah, but guys tend to kind of have a regression season after what they did the year before. And Aubrey was he was 17 points a game last year. I don't know if he's going to get that.
Kind of had to be because Dak was out the majority of the year. But
yeah, I agree with that. So
it helps when you have a kicker that can hit basically from anywhere on the field.
So let's see here. We're gonna So I'm sitting here again, really good. Let's get another running back, and then we can call. We'll just finish it out with the tight end and quarterback. So looking down the way here on my list, we don't want to pick here. I mean, let's go for it. Why not? Caleb Johnson, Pittsburgh Steelers rookie. I like him a lot. I think he's going to be the main guy for that offense this year.
A lot of Steeler fans that I talk to think Caleb Johnson's going to be the guy going forward for them.
Yeah. Alan, who's in back of Javante this year? A lot of junk, right?
Yeah.
Jamonte's the starting running back in Dallas, and he can catch the ball. So I think he could have, as the running back 2, all I'm looking for, based on the team that I've already put together here, is probably somewhere in the vicinity of 10 points a game. So I'm gonna trust Javonte Williams is gonna get me that 10 points a game. So as a running back 2, I'm not scared to go after Javonte. And then to follow him up,
I think Javonte becomes the one.
yeah, I do.
Yeah, Javonte definitely is going to be the one for sure.
But on my team, he's the running back 2 because I have Chuba Hubbard. So I'm banking on getting 25 points between both of them every week on a weekly basis.
He's cheating us out of our money.
And then there's a guy in Jacksonville that everybody's forgotten about, and that's Travis Etienne. And I think he could be in for a bounce back season this year. I think he was injured most of last year. I think his performance showed it. So I'm going to take Travis Etienne, and he's my 3rd running back with the hope that he stops for Jacksonville and he bounces back in a major way.
I will say this about the Williams pick too, Scott. If there's one guy behind him that has a chance to kind of have the same production, I think it's going to be Jaden Blue.
Yeah, the rookie. Yep, I agree.
Blue. So far, from what I've heard in training camp, he's been phenomenal. So,
all right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are finally at the final 2 rounds here. Obviously, I don't have a quarterback, I don't have a tight end. So let's get those finished up here. With this pick here, I'm matching up with my 1st round pick, guys. CD Lamb. Hello, Dak. Let's go, Dak. So here we go. Dak Prescott action. Let's see what Allen does here.
These high stakes drafts are going to take forever, I think, in Vegas this year, because it's getting to be a struggle here.
Oh yeah, no, it's this is actually probably my 2nd draft in the last 3 months. Just because I haven't sat down and actually looked at it, and now the draft guide's done. Oh, this thing's gonna take. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those computer ones where you sit down and you're staring at it. You're like, man, what do I do? What do I do?
People, this is where Basement Brew Fantasy and people like that come in real big handy.
Yes,
because guys that you never thought you would be taken in these spots, you're taken. So
you get steals out of it, you know.
Yep.
Love the big move to think. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just cap it off. Team 6 is now officially the Dallas Cowboys. So there you go. And the final pick of the 10-round, 12-man PPR draft is
wide receiver. Terrible.
I know, that's why I went 5 off the bat.
So the Green Bay coaching staff has brought up this guy to that they want to focus on, and it's Tucker Kraft.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm as my backup tight end. I'm going to go with Tucker Kraft. I think he could. That receiving core has a lot of mouths to feed, but nobody stands out above anybody else. So I think Tucker Kraft could be that short guy that catches a lot of touchdowns in the red zone.
Yeah.
So if he gets 10 touchdowns, he's well worth taking the middle rounds.
All right. So this 10 rounds, right? 10 rounds. You're talking QB, 2 wideouts, 2 RBs, 2 flex spots, tight end, 2 bench spots. Okay. The big thing here, like we used to look at Scott's team. Scott, you had four receivers, 3 RBs, a quarterback, and 2 tight ends, right? And then Allen went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I already count right, 5 receivers, 2 RBs, 2 tight ends, and a quarterback. Interesting. I want to know here, Alan, I'll start with you, man. What was your draft strategy in 10 rounds here?
Well, at the 12th spot, it's kind of hard, especially with that wheel pick. So value was the big thing for me. How much I think production, I think they'd be worth for that spot. Obviously, Genty going first. I think he's going to have probably, other than the two guys and Henry and Barkley, he'll have the best production out of any running back in the league this year. AJ Brown's all reliable for me because, like I said, I've had him in past drafts before. He's consistently puts up the numbers you expect him to put up every week. And then Jalen Hurts is kind of the same way. But yeah, I mean, it's just the last part of it. The last two, it's just like I just feel like it's kind of a pick and choose at this point because there are guys you kind of like look and say, they could be good, but then again, history shows maybe they can't be, maybe they won't be.
Right. And I think from a general league, a redraft league, this would be fun because you can utilize the waiver wire. If you're looking at from a best ball standpoint, this is the kind of lineup you want at a best ball standpoint. So right. I think from a redraft league, this isn't bad at all because there's going to be other running backs out there that you can swap in and out there with the tight ends or even receivers. So. Yeah, I don't hate it from a certain standpoint there for sure. I do like the Buka pick at the end though. That was definitely one of my favorites in that one. Scott here again, like I said, 4 receivers, 3 RBs, 2 tight ends, and a quarterback. What's through your mind there at the one spot there?
So my basic philosophy is getting at least 2 top 12 wide receivers. T. Higgins might be just below that, but he's going to be in the mix. So Drake London and Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is going to be probably one of the top, 3 or 4 scorers in fantasy football this year.
Yeah,
if he's right. So that's what I went toward was getting the 2 top 12 receivers, and I probably waited 1 round too late on the running back. Chuba Hubbard is my number 1. I'm not really confident in. But again, he's the guy in Carolina. And if Bryce Young struggles at all this year, Chuba Hubbard's going to get a massive amount of carries. And I think fantasy is starting to turn back toward the running back a little bit here. I think you see running backs starting to get bigger and bigger games, 100-yard rushing games. If they throw a touchdown in, that's a 16-point game for you right there. So, the quarterback, I wanted Burrow, obviously with Higgins and Chase, but Kyler Murray in the later rounds is a guy that I could gravitate toward, maybe a little bit early, but I'd even wait longer on quarterback than this.
Yeah,
I'm really high on Matthew Stafford this year. I think he could have a huge year with Devontae and Puka if they both stay healthy, and then you got Kyron Williams in the backfield and his tight end Higbee. So. I'd even wait a little bit longer than that, but the 2 guys I wanted would be Burrow and Mayfield as my quarterbacks, and I didn't get them. So.
Yeah, I think for myself too. I mean, we're looking at my receivers here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, I got the 5 as well. 3 RBs and 1 tight end, 1 QB, and the tight end QB came at the end because there's still value in that 9 and 10 range, and there will be in most drafts, right? So, we're able to do that and complement it with my number 1 overall pick, a CeeDee Lamb. Like a C-back, hey, that's kind of hoping everything goes well and we don't get no more surprises out of him of an injury, right before training camp. So, but again, at that point in the second round, it's hard because if he is, healthy as he can be, and he will be part of that offense. He was that offense the previous year, not last year, but the year before. So, it's just hard to skip on him. And then, of course, the receivers are in the middle. I mean, these are outside of maybe Calvin Ridley right now, but McMillan, Metcalf, and Hill, these are guys that are going to get targets and shares. They're pretty much the number 1s, pretty much for this team or will be. So, I mean, I don't know. I just felt like the value there was receivers right in that middle spot there. And then the running backs you came back around with it. Swift should have a better year this year with the offense coming into what it is now. And then Johnson, I think with Harris out, Warren's gotten his chances in the past, and it hasn't been spectacular by any means. So I think Warren or Johnson here has a chance to really take over that job here as Iowa running back. And Iowa running backs tend to actually perform in the NFL. So you got to give them that for that. So, and of course, just at the end, the tight end. Tight end just kind of threw up there with Ferguson. You might as well pair with your quarterback if he's there for your final pick of the draft here. So if it was a best ball league here, I love this roster. And from a best ball standpoint, a redraft, I don't hate it. It's a 6 spot. So, but yeah, we'll have to kind of reevaluate, of course, as we keep doing these drafts here and get some more people involved with different, perspectives on their draft here. But yeah, that's what mock drafts are all about. Seeing what's there, get the idea, get the feel of it, and then you can go out and get some real stuff going on. So, but yeah, guys, next week here, make sure you pay attention here. We will involve the audience, so you guys can draft with us. And if we can get enough people, maybe we'll throw up a free best ball sleeper league that we can keep track of during the season. So, but hey, this was fun, guys. This was fun. Glad to be back at it for sure.
Yep.
Felt good to see the things that I haven't really seen yet this year. Usually I have by now. So, but it was great to see where certain people were dropping to. So, and there's still a lot of value on that board past 10. So.
This is going to be a very interesting year for fantasy football, I believe, because there's a lot of unknowns, but there's also a lot of high potential from some of these guys, especially the rookies. There's a lot of high potential for some of these rookies this year.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
Just a last word of advice: don't sleep on Christian McCaffrey this year. San Francisco.
I don't think so. Yeah,
the easiest schedule. If he stays completely healthy, in the 2 years out of the last 3 that he stayed healthy, he's been running back 1 and running back 2. So he's going to finish top 2 or 3 if he stays healthy.
Yeah,
and the second round was great. It was great value. So
I can get C-Mac in the second round for it. Tomorrow, guys, we will be on tomorrow. Well, we'll be talking college football, ladies and gentlemen. College football. We're gonna get some future bets. All right, this is from a betting perspective. This isn't us breaking down each team, division, player, blah 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 blah. This isn't that kind of show. This show is about betting, right? And what we're looking forward to. So we're gonna get some futures to see what we like odds wise. Maybe some guys we want to drop on tomorrow. We will be talking national championship futures, right? Who do we like as the title favorites in that bet here? I'll be using DraftKings odds for a lot of this here. So DraftKings odds, we're going to title favorites, national championship favorites here, futures. Maybe you want to drop a couple bucks on. We'll also be talking Heisman favorites, seeing who's coming up, who's in the ranks there. Maybe somebody's left out. Maybe Alan knows something that we don't know on our side. And then to wrap up the show there, I mean, we're going to talk 3 different divisions or conferences.
Might as well call them divisions at this point.
At this point, it feels like it. But conferences, and we're gonna discuss the SEC futures winner. We're going to talk about the Big Ten futures winner, and we're going to talk about the Big 12 and their futures and the winners, their potentials there. And then the next week, when we talk some more college football, we'll break down some more other divisions. Because if you know what we like, it is in the SEC, Big 12, and the Big 10. It's the other schools that we like.
It's the MAC, the Sun Belt, the Division II schools.
That's right. And we'll be doing this. We'll try to do as much as we can leading into week 0, of course, for that. Same with the NFL. We're going to be doing a lot of fantasy drafts. Maybe we'll look at futures as well for them at some point too. Like maybe we'll do a show off that. I don't know. We'll see what comes of this, but make sure you guys stay tuned. You hit that bell. Okay, you hit that bell at the bottom if you're on YouTube. Give us a like if you're on Facebook, or just follow me if you want, or on X. You can follow at Alan Aprilalice30 or at Tan12489 here, or at SJCobe1, and we'll be there to take care of it. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get this thing going, talk a little football as we go. But if you guys really want to hear the breakdowns, the news, the opinions that come with it, check us out. Check us out on Tuesdays evenings on the Rec Room Sports Hub here, and Jay, Alan, Bobby. I'm sure I'm missing others here at this point, but I mean, these guys are going to break it down for you. They're going to give you the opinions and the breakdown. So make sure you check them out on Tuesday nights as well. So, guys, let's get out of here. Appreciate you. Enjoy the first mock. Let's get that guy out of here. We'll see you guys.
First of many.
See ya.
That's right.